Hello, I'm SquidofLove, welcome back. Today we're gonna take another look at Fracture Space and more specifically at the January update that brought a lot of new features and in general changed the way this game is played. If you had played Fracture Space before but hadn't touched for a while, then I'm pretty sure that you are going to be surprised. The major changes are of course the new tech tree. There are new starting ships that you can start playing with in order to progress, and the progression reset. Existing players had their credits and their unlocked ships removed in order to start playing with the new tech tree. This was done in order to give them an opportunity to make a fresh start, but this was also done, in my opinion, in order to allow new players to get into the game easier and start competing against more experienced players without feeling being at a disadvantage. I personally think this was a good change and very necessary for the future of Fracture Space. In general, the developers are quite active. There is a major update almost every month, and it is very easy to keep track of all the changes that are happening just by logging into the main page of the game. Let's go ahead now and take a look at most of the changes and how much better this game Fracture Space is. Obviously, the biggest change was the new tech tree. There are new vessels that you can unlock in the game. The principle is the same as before. There are 3 companies, and you play with ships from these companies in order to gain experience for each company. So for example, if you want to unlock the Infiltrator that belongs to Zarek Industries, then you have to play with ships that belong to Zarek, gain Zarek experience. When you have enough experience, unlock the ship of your choice and buy it with either in-game currency or premium currency. Like we said, there are new starting ships available. So for example, there's the Sentinel for Titan, the Venturer for Zarek, and the Pioneer for the USR. You can change the loadout, you can see the loadouts and the modules that you can unlock. As you play with them, you gain experience, you unlock the modules, you can try them and make the loadout of your choice. There are of course a lot of new stuff on the store of the in-game store, from Founders Packs to new skins for the ship of your choice, and crew members that you can hire with in-game currency and use them in your ships in order to specialize in certain activities. Each ship in the game has a certain role, but you can specialize it even further depending on the bonuses that each crew member is gonna give to you and your vessel. Since the last time we have checked Fracture Space, a tutorial has been added, a very easy to follow tutorial that will help you learn the game and will unlock some boost, experience credit boost, and a ship for you in order to enjoy, and in general will teach you the game. It is a very easy tutorial to follow, and you will understand very quickly what is happening, what you should be doing in the battlefield later. As for the main game, there is the Conquest mode, the normal mode that used to exist in the game, but there is also the Frontline mode, which is not available at the moment. The Frontline is a game for players that want to finish faster, players that don't have a lot of time to spend in a Conquest game. Conquest games can take quite a while, can go up to 30-40 minutes. Frontline games can be finished in 10-15 minutes. It is a nice option if you don't have a lot of time but want to have a bit of action in Fracture Space. Also, what you are seeing here is the number of players, 847 at this time that are playing, that are online. The number of players has increased significantly. There used to be, some months ago, around 60 to 100 players available only to play with. Now this number is a lot higher, and this is much better for the game and for the experience overall. But let's just jump into the gameplay now and see what Fracture Space is all about. If you know the game, if you had played the game before, then you should know that this is some kind of space MOBA, that 2 teams of 5 players are fighting each other in order to control an area. The goal is to advance through the sectors and capture the enemy base. There are structures on these sectors, on the alpha and the beta sector. There are mining outposts, there are stations, and you have to control more mining outposts than your enemy in order to gain more experience and upgrade your vessels faster. As you upgrade your vessels, the stronger you become, and it will be easier to deal with your targets. So from the first look on this gameplay, we can very easily see that nothing has changed. The principle is the same, the goal is the same, and it is very entertaining. It is a lot of fun to play Fracture Space. It is a lot of fun to try to advance at least, through the sector with your teammates, try to kill your enemies, or at least drive them away in order to take control of this area and move forward, capture the station on this sector or each sector, so you can unlock the enemy base, get in there and try to capture it. And as I'm pretty sure that you will have noticed by now, the graphics have been improved. The graphics have been improved by a lot. The game feels a lot more polished, a lot more fun. It is a lot more beautiful than it used to be, and I really like the changes. I think it is better looking in every possible way. And like we said before, every ship has its own role to play in the battlefield, has its weaknesses, has its advantages, and you have to take advantage of all of your modules, of all of your abilities, in order to overcome your opponent, help your team and emerge victorious. Like before, capturing Gamma facility is very important for you and your team because it will give you a combat buff that will help you kill your targets faster, and as you can see, there is a timer now showing you when the Gamma facility will be online, so you can jump in there and try to capture it for you and your team. It is very important to focus on Gamma and try to capture it in order to gain that combat buff. It will give you a significant advantage over your enemies and make your life a lot easier. The graphics on the Gamma sector are a lot more impressive than they used to be. It is quite nice to see such changes. It is very nice to see that this game is getting not only better but also more beautiful. Like we have mentioned, the goal of the game is to capture the enemy base, and in order to do this you have to capture mining outposts, gain more experience and upgrade your vessel. Whenever you are ready to upgrade your vessel, all you have to do is go back to your base or enter an allied station, a station that you control, get into the force field and you will be upgraded. Sometimes though, you get to choose to upgrade your attack, your defense or your utility capabilities, depending on the job that your vessel can complete, can perform well. Depending on the way you want to play and help your team, you can choose to upgrade each one of these 3 sectors of your vessel and become stronger. In that way you can focus on certain tasks and try to help your team in any possible way. The bases that the 2 teams control have also received an overhaul. It is not so easy to go in there, go into the enemy sector, in the enemy base and capture them alone as it used to be before. There are more defenses. It is harder for a ship that is not upgraded to go, try to capture it and survive. As you're gonna see, the defenses, the base defenses are very strong and can destroy you very easily, so if you wanna try this, then be sure to be upgraded. Another great change, in my opinion, it is very good that the bases have defenses. There are turrets that will try to attack enemies and help your team remain in the game. When you die now, you get to respawn, but not automatically at your base. You respawn into an empty space and you can choose where to go from there. You can choose to go at any sector that is unlocked and help your team push forward and complete your objectives. In order to take down your enemies and capture their base, a well-coordinated team attack will be required, and it is quite fun to go like this. It is quite fun to have a final battle in the enemy base trying to capture it. Overall, the game seems to be developing towards the right direction. I like the fact that the developers are active and they are constantly adding new features and trying to improve the existing features. It is a very entertaining game. The gameplay is quite good, and if you are a fan of space games and PvP competitive games, then you should definitely take a look at Fracture Space. You will not be disappointed. There's also a new matchmaking rating added to the game, which will help you play against players that are at the same level as you are. In general, this is also another good change that will help new players to get into Fracture Space easier and have a lot of fun. And at the end of every game you can apply the various boosts you have. You can apply experience or credits boost, increase your rewards, increase your earnings. This was Fractal Space. These were the main changes that the January update has brought to Fractal Space. Overall, it is a very fun, very entertaining game that you should take a look at. Thank you very much for joining me watching this video. I'm SquidofLove and I will see you next time. Bye bye.